Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing here? So we're going to be working on the Mickey again. Hopefully get it pretty much finished. Did a little bit of work off stream, but most of it was on stream yesterday. So go ahead and take a look where we're at. I'd like to go get some containers moved, so we'll see how that works out for us. Alright, so this is the present progress at the moment. Let's see what I did here. So, pretty much cleaning up, getting a little bit of electricity going that needed doing. Put some lighting in here. I put a closet and a lav in the cockpit. I put a lav in the back here. Put some seating. Put some lighting in here. So, kind of some necessary stuff. Added some landing lights, taxi lights. Fixed all the nav lights and stuff. So, going pretty well. How's it going there, Zachy? How's it going there, David? It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A little bit of Mr. Rogers there. Make sure he doesn't demonetize me. But I think we're looking pretty good here. Need to work on the seat, you know, the crane controls at some point, but that's not really all that necessary. Painted this all black again under here. Probably end up taking these legs out. I haven't decided yet, but let's see where we're at. I might be able to go, let me check my notes, and then I might be able to go take this and try to go test some of the container stuff. So I just want to check out the ramp really quick. If the ramp and the door are working, we're in good shape. So worked on the tail wheel doors. As you can see, it's rotating the side a little bit more, but it's not going forward anymore. So these are the doors, XML'd, so those work. pretty well. Let's go ahead and we'll get moving on this. And we'll go see if we can't get a container done. Let me test the ramp out first and the door. So I want to check all my settings. I want infinite electricity off, infinite fuel off, damage on. We'll kind of give it a real world test. Not happy with that poking through, but not much can really do. Alright, so the door goes up. Let's test the ramp. Ramp needs to be able to go out and be functional. I'll decorate the ramp a little bit later. Alright. Alright, so that seems to work really well. So hopefully we should be able to get a test going here on containers. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll bring the ramp back in. Alright, so it is trying to suck up the ramp. Okay, there it goes. It's good. Okay. Just want to make sure it was going to behave itself there. Just took a second. Alright, there we go. Alright, doors closed, and let's go ahead and go up to the cockpit. What did that hit? Alright, that just blew up on something, so I need to test that. Alright, what's up with that? It's likely it hit the part that sticks out, I'm thinking. It's the only thing that really does that, so. We shall test it, though. Alright, so that is not retracting fast enough, it appears. Alright, so I need to see what's blown that up. Because I don't like that, doing that, so. Yeah, I don't know why that blew up last time. That was kind of weird. Like, there's no collision for that, really. So, I don't know what the deal was with that. I don't know why this isn't sealing right. So, sure the game volume's up. So why is this not sealing? So I need to look at that. So I'd like to get this in career build series, but I need to get it up and running to that point. So we powered? We're not powered at the moment, so that was broken there. So that was likely the issue. Just cycle this door a couple. Yeah, a little bit earlier. I can't sleep. Can't sleep for shit lately. I rarely sleep well, so I bet the door hit the roof, and that's what caused the damage, and I just didn't notice it. I bet that's what that was. So that would make sense to me. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I didn't see it because it was in a weird spot, so I bet it hit the top here, and then when the ramp up, we're gonna crush the ramp. Yeah, that's no bueno. Put the ramp away. I bet that's what happened to that. So I'm really pleased with the way this is running so far. Just don't let it hear that. That's when it will screw up and break. Alright, so it eventually needs a ground service panel. It is doing this weird phantom rotation, but I can probably screw with the brakes a little bit. The parking brakes on, sometimes if you put regular brakes on there and you let them slip a little bit or slide a little bit, that'll work. Let's no clip. I want to make sure we can get in and out of this and manage this fine. Should have no problem, but need to kind of scoot around the door here. Sometimes I get stuck behind and it's a pain, but it's usually look around like this and I can get in. So there we go. All right, good. So that works. All right, let's do ladder. I always need to remember to crouch here. There we go, crouch, and we're good. Let's put the ladder up. All right, ladder's up. All right, we have seating in here. So we have a lavatory. I haven't hooked up the door controllers for those yet. We have a closet and a lavatory in here, as well as 3 jump seats. So. Start to spool up. I'm gonna taxi out. I'm already turned quite a bit here. I'm gonna kill damage really quick. I want to try to get out of here. I might have to bump it out. Yeah. Okay. Let's go down, and let's go in reverse. And we're in reverse. I don't know if it's actually reversing the props. No, I still look forward. Let's fix the thrust reversers. That will help me with this. So I'm trying to see what's up with thrust reversers. So prop setting. Okay, let me see. One of these reads prop setting. I don't know why it's not quite right. Okay, there's prop pitch there. That's good. Okay, what do you? Pitch correction. I don't have that in there. We don't need it. All right, so we have AGL. AGL is above ground level. That controls the. That's part of the thrust reverser controller. I need to look at this here. So. All right. So let's see. These are my conditions for above ground level and on ground sensor. Okay, so I need to read this and fix that. So that's beta, and this should be reverse, I believe. Beta and reverse there. And then these are the readouts. I'm not getting any lights either, so it's not fulfilling a condition. So I need to go check that that distance sensor. Where are you, distance sensor? Oh, right here. Okay. There's the distance sensor. So I need to see what my on-the-ground level is. Why is this reading 0? Is that not on the hot bus? That should be on the hot bus. Let me double check it, make sure that is running. Okay, 1.13, so that will be why. So it needs to be, if that's less than 2, that would likely be a culprit of why my reversers are not working. On ground sensor here, so it'd be 2. 2. So last plane I took this off of, it was lower to the ground. All right. Turn the beacon on here in a second. Alright, taxi out. Turn the beacon on. Alright. So I have put the beacons underneath. That's a little unconventional, but I don't have much choice, so I'm gonna have to do a little unconventional. Alright, let's go nav. Logo, I don't have a logo light on there yet. Strobes. Taxi and takeoff. Alright, let's go. Up, parking brakes on. Nope, parking brakes off. Okay. What is up with... I must have broken a... I don't know what the hell the story is. I'm not getting any pitch control here. I broke an electrical connection. Awesome. These little things I have to worry about, so... Normally, generally IRL, you do a control check. So let's see... Control surface to control surface, over to here. Okay, and then that's no electricity there, so this needs to be hooked in. Alright, so that would cause that problem. Wondering why I had no pitch control. Brake and electrical connections. Alright. It is a big whale. We'll check the beta in reverse on the way out. Okay. Alright, we'll check beta in reverse. There's beta. And there's reverse. We actually reversing? Yep, there we go. Okay, they went into reverse now. It appears to be. We'll see. Maybe not. I have to check the actual if the blades are actually going to reverse, but alright, positive. What the hell's going on here? What's going on here? I just hit something on the way out? I must have. My engine's never spooled up because sometimes in this mode it likes to overdo the pitch, and then I run into problems where I can't throttle up enough. So that can just be solved with pilotage. I just need to follow procedures. So not following correct procedures, so go ahead and do proper procedures, and that should fix some of this stuff. Essentially what I have to do is I have to make sure that I spool up my engines enough, which is a normal thing you'd have to do IRL, so I'll make sure I do that from now on. Alright. Let's do... we don't want number 1 gen. Let's go through the whole procedure here. So batteries are on, power connect. I'm just trying to go quickly here because it slides a little around in spawn area. So I'm going to do the beacon. Alright. Parking brake's coming off. That's going down 2. Beacon's coming on. Let's head out. We'll spool 3 and 4. Alright. We'll do a conventional takeoff. Nav, logo, strobes, landing taxis. Gens are all coming on. Brakes, 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 brakes. There we go. Being a tail dragger, it has a good turning radius. Alright, so let's actually go through a proper procedure here. Let's throw the brake on. Let's see, what do I want to do? I want to put my wings all the way down. We're all good there. Hydraulics would come on, not that I have the system working yet, but... Okay, let's pull the brakes. And I'm going to watch our spool up, make sure the engine's spooled properly. Engines are spooling. V1 rotate. Positive brake gears coming up. Go 2000. Altitude holds coming on. 217. Heading holds coming on. Landing lights off. Taxi light is off. Strobes down. Logo I don't have connected. That stays on. Good, good, good. We're all set there so far. Let me check the cross feeds. So let's go to this one. That's climbing. That one is not climbing. So I have to check cross feed 2. Put that on the list. Cross feed 2 and up. Okay. Alright, so we're not climbing, which I need to reduce. I have some anti-fins in the front to make it act a little bit more realistically. And those aren't really trimmed out right, so I need to fix those. That's on my to-do list already. So I can overpower it. I could just leave them, and then I could increase the clamp on the pitch on the autopilot as well. That's another thing I could do. So I'm going to just add a little bit of trim on there to keep me vertical. What I'll do is I'll put a keypad and I'll trim those fins, because that's why the nose came up or went down on me picking my tail up. Was those fins are too much. So I can manually control that number. All right, let's go ahead and put in a waypoint here. All right, nav, GPS, headings coming off. Let's get rid of visual waypoints. (132), we should be turning 132. Start bringing the prop back, we'll go max speed. So it appears we don't have a climb issue once I get to max speed, so it could just be that we have limited prop pitch, so that's fine. That would be on the to-do list anyway. There we go, we hit 160 there for a second. Alright, so I do need to trim those fins in the front. I will play with that later. Alright, so here we are, max speed. Alright, we'll be at the waypoint in 4.3 minutes. Good, good, good. Let's see what else we need. GPU, I need to do ground services panel. I need to install the APU. Yeah, so I need those in there. We're climbing, yep, so if you look here, the generators are producing enough value there to maintain battery. Crossfeed 2 was broken, I said, so let's see, that is... might be burning more than I can move it to, but I have to check them. Hydraulics, I need to work on the hydraulic system. Icing system needs to be installed. See if I can get the heater to come on. I think it's here, right there. So that's not going on, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Work on the heater, so heater needs to be worked on. We write all these things down. So ground, power, APU, crossfeed, anti-ice, or de-ice rather. It's de-ice, de-ice. Hydraulics. Alright. Bingo, bango, bongo. Still, I don't think I'm getting my reverses. I don't think are working right. So I need to check on thrust reverse. Alright. So, some things to add to the list. So I'm just going to do a test. We'll bring a container up. ITT needs to be indexed. ITT4 is in op. ITT4 in op. And then I need to index all ITT. ITT. Index. Okay. So that's pretty good. Alright, so I'll be there in 2 minutes. So I'm going to set my next waypoint here out to the end of the runway. Should have that radio frequency. I'll pull up the radio frequency for FJ. We'll switch over to the radio frequency for that. So FJ is 630, so let's put in the radio frequency for that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So once that we get close, I'll just switch over to the radio for FJ. Let's go ahead and descend down to. We have to cross some mountains, but I think we're good. So. I think about 1200 is as low as we really can get here, so I'll go to 1200 on this. I don't want to slam these mountains. Alright, there's 1200. 0.8 off of this. Once we get about 0.5, I'll switch over to the radio. And we'll go in on radio. Alright, there's 0.5 radio GPS, then we'll turn to FJ. How's it going there, Daniel? Alright, so we're going to start pushing the prop full forward. Landing gear is coming down. Alright, and prop is full forward, autopilot's coming off. And we'll be looking for the airport. Could be 12 o'clock. So about an 8-8 heading, so we're a little bit aiming south for it, which is good. I want to come a little bit south. There, I can start to see it there, it's right there. I'm just trying to line for the runway here. Retrimming here as necessary. So I'm going to readjust the artificial horizon there. There we go, right about there is good, so I know where I'm actually supposed to be. There's the runway, it's off to the south a little bit. Wow, this rolls too fast. I need to reduce some of the sensitivity on the roll. South here. That ADF will go not on course, it will go straight line, so it's going straight to the where the shack would be. I'm starting to roll back gently. Landing taxi are coming on. Alright, coming in on final here. Landing gear is down in 3 green. Clear to land. Coming back on the power just a hair. Don't want to get slower than probably 90 in this. I don't have any flaps on this, so it's not too bad to come in at 114 anyway. There we go. Brakes, 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 right into reverse. I don't know if reverse is even working. go. Have to be careful. I need to put anti-lock brakes on this, or anti-skid is what they call it in planes. You put anti-skid on there. I locked up the brakes. We'll put an anti-skid system on there too. Add that to the to-do list. Anti-skid. All right, anti-skid's going on as well. Taxi. All right, we'll shut down 3 and 4 for fuel savings. I'll end up doing some cameras for help with taxiing. Large aircraft are having those more and more now. Maybe do a little Lua panel where it just has some anti-stop brakes. It's a big bird, I'm telling you. We set it pretty high. Like I landed when I was in the cockpit of a 777, and you set up pretty damn high in a 777. This feels a lot higher than that. Alright, so we'll call it right here, I think. Let's go ahead. We'll go into beta. There's beta. Go ahead and we'll press the brakes. Set the brake. We'll shut down 1 and 2. Go ahead, shut the gens off. We'll leave battery 1 on. Stow the ladder for loading. I don't know if they made a mock-up of it. Usually you go sit out in the airplane and you're fine. Yeah. Let's I'm not gonna go back up the ladder. That's the new hinge for that. They may have done, but you don't really need it. Kind of just get used to it. Alright. So that is in there. Let's go ahead and we'll grab a container loader. So let's go to BVG here. That's kind of its whole job is BVG. So let's grab grab this. I didn't turn on the breaker 19. Yeah, especially if you have a radar altimeter. The radar altimeter is right in the belly, and as long as you know what the book is for what the altitude's supposed to be for touchdown, you tend to, you know, it gives you, it'll go 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. You know, so it will also read it out to you. So you get, you know, you're within 10 feet of touchdown. So right around 10 feet, you can hold it at 10 feet. Even if it kind of stalled out there, you'd settle right in. So looks good with the spinning props and the nose up. Get a pick on the way by here. But, you know, most of the ops like this is going to operate like a normal airplane. The only time you'd ever really VTOL this is when you need to. You know, you think about, like, just from a safety standpoint, it's much safer to operate it as a normal airplane. It's also lot less wear and tear, a lot more fuel efficient. Because you'd be really, you have the engine spooled way up when you're trying to land vertically and take off, so. Yeah, you'd be trying to land it as a normal plane as much as possible. Yeah, there's not real too much benefit to like VTOL it in around the containers comparatively to all the risks. But like a place like BVG, you'd need it. That's like, you know, you get a lot of people who think, oh, we're going to have all these, like, autonomous VTOL taxis in the near future, and, like, first of all, they have to get approved by the FAA and all the other, and ICAO, and then they're going to make an incredible amount of noise. So somehow they'd have to come up with a reasonable way to be able to dampen the noise. And, you know, you look at, like, airlines and everything and how much regulation they have to do to maintain the safety. It's not, you know, people kind of think, oh, it's just inherently safe. It's not inherently safe. It's that they've made it safe by regulating it and making sure that the rules are there where they have to have a lot of safety equipment, you know. And then, so now you're talking, you have like some mom and pop operation trying to just run an air taxi that has low profitability. You know, that's kind of pie in the sky. So some of these things, the main thing is always going to be the noise. And then it's like you're going to have to still have a properly trained pilot, you know, or, you know, like the automation craze where people think a lot of this is going to be automated quickly. It's just not. It's like, you know, you still need to have responsibility for it. Like, you know, even modern day airplanes still, like, the pilots have to take control all the time from the autopilot, because it does something stupid. So it's like you have to kind of weigh that issue. Okay, there we go. So I think a lot of that stuff's a lot further than some people would think. Yeah, it's like thinking we'll have all these packaged drones. Like you could have like little ground vehicles, like you see some, like the food service stuff doing that, where they have like a little bot that drives. That's not noisy. Like if you, as soon as you have some blades moving in the air, it becomes incredibly noisy, and that's hard to justify. Going up and down your street all day is having this buzzing drone, you know. And then what do you do if it crashes and there's no driver there? If there's a driver, they can manually go back to delivering. If there's no driver, kind of in trouble, you know. So a lot of things that, you know, it's like I remember this commercial. It was like, I don't know, it was like some sort of magazine, and it was maybe Popular Mechanics or something at the time, but it showed, it was like 1950s, you know, and post-war they thought, you know, they're gonna have all this futuristic stuff, and they had the husband, and you know, in his coat and hat. He'd run out for milk, and he was flying this little helicopter with milk in a basket, and the wife comes out and pulls the milk out of the basket, and her head's like inches from the rotor blades, and they're pretending to have a conversation. It's like, you know, you're not standing under rotor blades and have any sort of conversation, you know. And it's like, you're going to be blowing all the trees around, you're going to be doing all sorts of property damage, plus you have this amateur operating a helicopter. Half the time they're going to crash, you know. So it's just like a lot of that's pie in the sky, and you kind of have to look at some of the lessons before of this pie in the sky and stick it to today's standards of what we kind of think we're going to have right away. You know, it's like Tesla's having an issue now where the cars are just slamming right into motorcycles. You know, one of the ways that they tell if there's a vehicle in front of them is they look at the tail lights, and it can judge the distance by the distance between the tail lights. So if you have a motorcycle with a single tail light, it's just completely ignoring the motorcycles and slamming into them on the highway at full speed. You know, so it's like stuff like that. And then like, who's liable for that? The driver that's sitting there, you know, not paying attention, or is it the manufacturer? And so it's a lot of these things that, you know, sometimes you don't think about that are going to be problematic. And then you have to talk about maintenance. You know, in the airlines, you know, it's a lot of maintenance to maintain legality to keep your airplanes up and running. Like, it's like literally if we had like if we had a light bulb out, not even in the cockpit, in the back, we'd have to call maintenance out. They'd have to do the book. And so that could be a 30-minute process to get maintenance come out and then to write up the book for just a light in the back. You know, so you think about that sort of thing, extrapolating that out. You know, and that's why things are safe. And you start relaxing that, you're gonna have a lot of accidents, and now you have amateurs flying over your house committing these accidents. That's really not great. Okay, there we go. Starting to get good at operating this little Johnny here. I'm gonna just shut it off for the second. Alright, so that should hopefully be close enough. We should be able to winch this in. Hopefully it didn't break the crane at some point. That's what a lot of this testing's for. I hope I didn't break this crane. Come on, man. If I broke this crane, it's not the end of the world, but it's not great. Could just be an electrical issue. Let's test that out. Awesome. This isn't working. Okay, left, right. Oh, you know what it is? It's the detach function. There we go. Okay. Let's turn infinite electricity off again. See if it's plugged in. Okay, we're working. I just forgot to detach it. That's a new feature. So I don't know how I want this to operate yet. Maybe a remote. That would probably make sense. Alright. I got rid of the ropes in here, so I need to go get some ropes. You see how it's not sliding as much as it was in the spawn area? You'll see a lot of new players talk about that, and you know, they're kind of have to get your stuff out of spawn area sometimes. Things will often slide around in the spawn area. When you get them out of there, they'll sometimes behave themselves. So I should just attach rope to each of the winches, but I don't need both winches. So. I'm set to a meter, that's why we're having problems here. There we go. I should have set this to 40. 16 is not going to be enough. Okay. You're gonna be like this all day? Come on. Ah, you suck. Alright. Come up with procedures. A lot of this is procedure stuff. Is figure out what works best, what doesn't work. You know, it's all testing. There we go. Alright. Alright, let's see where we're at with that. I think, and as much as I hate the remote control and how it works half the time... Oh no, don't do that, you scumbag. That's not helpful. 2 ropes would have prevented that. I was getting lazy. Alright. Go fix this. I need to do 2 ropes. Just getting lazy, I'd taken them out. How's it going there, FS? You know, especially with like a lot of the autonomous stuff for personal use is, you know, like, you have a lot of people who they don't do the regular maintenance for their vehicles. Like, I'm even guilty of it right now. I haven't, you know, have my oil change, but I also have a hybrid where I don't use the okay, that's not gonna work. Stop it before it rolls over. Fuck. Now we're toasted here. You know, so you have some you know, you think about if you have a normal layperson who doesn't get the maintenance done on their vehicle, well, now you have a vehicle that's not really safe to operate, you know, out there operating. You know, so that's going to be problematic. So a lot of this automation stuff, I think, is just it's pie in the sky. It's like, what the hell is this doing now? What the hell was that? So I think what I'll do to expedite this as well is I'll go grab the container shifter. We'll fix this container with the shifter anyway, and then I will go ahead and we'll use this to unload it. Because we need to bring up our own unloader to BBG. The container loader would also fit in here too, so maybe I'll just run that. Because this is kind of made for Triton. This isn't the most effective vehicle here. And probably if I had 2 ropes, that would have been behaved a little bit better. So, let's see. All right. Turning into a recovery operation here pretty quickly. Yep, 7 days till the DLC. 7 days. It's the 12th. Be 8 days. Unless you're different time zone. How's it going there, Aaron? Funny how you'd actually get the props moving like that if there's wind, but it's just like there's like no friction in the game right now. Might have issues with that rope being too taut. Might have to pull that rope. Could also try flicking it with the ramp, but I don't want to screw the plane up doing something silly like that. Let's see. I don't want to approach this. Alright, I've got a better way to probably pick this up and fix it. not run into everything possibly here. There, guy. Banging it. Just kill damage really quickly here. Okay, vehicle damage still off. Good. Alright. That's fixed now. So now the ramp is sticking above the ground. It wasn't before. I don't know what the hell's going on, why it does that. That's going to be problematic. There we go. Now it went down, so. It's just doing weird stuff. I might use the regular plane loader for this, and then bring that for unloading it. Let's see. There we go. Right. I need to do this one first. All right. That's set to 1 meter. Go. Not helpful having the controls back all the way in the back there because I can't see what I'm doing while I'm trying to work this. Alright, here it comes. You get in the seat. That definitely needs to be adjusted, but there we go. All right. Wouldn't be dragging this, of course, IRL, but for now, it's being dragged. Let's see, did I put a detach on this? I don't think I did, so. Nope, alright, I'll have to add that. So we'll work on this crane some at some point, but not the most important thing at the moment. For now, I'll just drag it. Alright. Hello, 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 Simon. How are you from Alaska? Alright, so you see how the plane's jumping and jiving? That's because the weight's in the back here. I'm probably going to add a magall to this ramp to keep it down, but we'll do that later. Ramp is kind of Doesn't want to act right. I have to play with this. It doesn't, where these are slammed in, it doesn't like that. I'll have to fix that. That will fix that, So I need to fix the connectors on the ramp. Connectors on ramp. Alright, there we go. That's on the to-do list. Let's go grab a couple containers. Be much faster using the shifter than using the little one. This thing loves to do wheelies because it has so much counterweight on it. There's an absolute butt ton of counterweight on there. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good to be addicted to Stormworks, better than drugs. Wake up feeling alright the next day instead of hungover. I don't know, I just... Doesn't really matter, I don't necessarily need BVGs, but take them. I'm just testing anyway. That's one thing is like when it held 6 before, I kind of gave up on the idea. So I didn't necessarily give up on the idea 6. I was like 6 isn't gonna really happen because it's unlikely you're gonna find 6 BVGs unless you're stopping multiple times to really make it worthwhile. So it's like 4 is more reasonable to expect. You know, like something like this would be completely impractical IRL. You imagine how much dust this thing would kick, how much dirt and everything else, how loud it would be. Like, that's the thing is, like, airports are zoned. You know, there are a lot of noise abatement procedures at airports. You know, like, for example, there were certain runways in Logan when I was based out of Logan that, you know, you couldn't, you know, certain airplanes couldn't take because they were too loud. And it was because all the neighbors, you know, the neighbors had petitioned to try to have quieter issues. Like, we used to do slam dunks into DFW, and we would come over the top of DFW at like 10,000 feet, and then we would turn around and come in and land. You know, so we'd come in at 10,000, we would drop like 3,000 feet per minute to come in and land in DFW, and it was all for noise, so that, you know, the city wasn't constantly being bombarded by noise, you know. So it's like a lot of that stuff, like trying to have airplanes and VTOLs, it was like, you know, the Rotodyne concept of the Rotodyne was to come into the city and bring passengers long distance right from the city, you know, and it's like, you know, and they land in like a park, and so you have this incredibly loud thing. Like the Rotodyne used rockets on the tips of its rotor blades to get the rotor started up, and it's like, you know, of course you're not going to let rockets go off every couple hours, you know, in the middle of a city, you know. It's why, you know, why supersonic transport was such a niche thing, was they did a lot of testing to try to see if they could, you know, do it. And it was just like the noise was the biggest problem. Was it was just too damn loud to run supersonics. You know, you could run them over the ocean. That's why the Concorde even survived as long as it did, was running them over the ocean. You know, and that's, you know, you keep seeing these startups trying to redo supersonic transport, and it's incredibly expensive because you get about 50% of the cycle times you do of a conventional jet. So it's like the airplane has a, you know, the lifespan is 1/2 of what a normal airplane can be. You know, because you have thermal expansion, heat, all sorts of heating issues because of it. So it's like, it is already numbered for Stormlink. You know, so that's kind of a lot of these issues that aren't really considered, that a lot of people don't consider for why some of these things don't exist as you know, normal everyday things. Is a lot of it's just the noise. And you're gonna be, you know, there could theoretically be something to, you know, like, to deal with the noise, but you're still, like, you don't have to worry about things like rotor wash blasting your house as it goes over you. All these things are, like, unintended consequences that you have to think about. A lot of the pie in the sky dies in the womb and never gets to go anywhere because of it, you know? The ramp's doing that because it's pinched on the connectors. Come on, stop, jackass. She might want to do this one. There we go. So, I'll get that ramp sorted, but that's moving the connectors isn't that bad, I don't think, and then that should fix that. Forgot this one has a rope already on it. Like little things like procedurally, like hooking the rope first down here before trying to hook it up there, you know. Start getting some procedures going here that help get things done in a more efficient fashion. Alright, so that is getting caught on the end of the ramp because the ramp's not pushing into the ground enough. That's one of the reasons why I have wedges on there, is the wedges can go underground a little bit and help, so. Don't have, let me see. Take some pressure off of it here. So get that ramp fixed. Hopefully that will fix this issue. This is the only way to kind of figure some of this stuff out is the testing. Did it just suck itself on there? I don't know. Let me try to test it now. It just did a jump, and I'm hoping it will let me drag it on now. Let's see. Nope. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna take this stuff back to, it's on now. Okay, it phased on, or it bumped on. So fixing those connectors should keep that ramp down, and that should allow me to load this a little bit more effectively. That needs to be slowed down massively. Okay. Yeah, that needs to be slowed down quite a bit. So that might not be moving to the right enough, so I need to increase my right translation on that. Or I need to do what I was thinking of doing with the ladder blocks. So yeah, I need to increase my right translation on the crane. So lateral translation ends on crane. Okay. Let's turn the lights on here. There we go. Make it a little bit more pleasant in here. Alright, let's get this fixed here. Okay. There we go. I want to do a full test with all four of them in here for flight, see how it flies. Yeah, so mag will keep this from moving too. This is what's causing some phantom physics there. Is that, like, that's glitching into there, so I need to fix that. Because the winches, the pivots are trying to rotate that ramp down. The connectors are fighting it, so it's in a battle. So the connectors need to be moved so that they orient better, because I've changed the angle of the ramp. So once the ramp gets pushed down, you know, the wedge, you can see how when I get close, it gets the physics interaction there, and it will behave itself, but it has to kind of wait for that. Okay. Oh, don't play this dickhead game with me, flicking it in the air, please. Scum. Pain in the ass it is. Yeah. I'm trying to fight the urge to go. You know what we'll do? Let's fix this ramp. I was gonna say, you know, the loading procedure, I'm doing too much of the wrong testing here. So the loading procedure works fine, minus that ramp issue. So I don't really need to keep testing that. What I need to do is yank this back of the workbench and fix these issues, because I can preload some pre-mades in there for the tests. So that will, let's fix this ramp. That will help me here. So, alright, so we're having ramp issues here where the connectors are now... Oh God, let me see something here. Alright, so if I move that back and I move the connector down, I think we're in better range here. Let me see. So right now the connectors are here. And they're pinching on that. Let's try... I can't go down one, that would hit there. stripper there. Let's try something really quick here. See how it behaves without the connectors, and then I'll try to rework the connectors in there. Alright, so you see it kind of dancing a little bit. Did I not have symmetry on? Yeah, I didn't have symmetry on. Annoying. Obnoxious. It's like, why is it dancing? Because one side's attached and the other's fine. But other than that, it's working pretty well. Why is the ramp not coming out? Did I hook electricity through there? I bet you that's what it is. I bet I hooked electricity through there. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Alright, that goes there. Let's see, where are we at here? How did all this get how does all this get disconnected from electricity? My god. Okay, that's what the issue was, is the electricity. The electricity got disconnected from this. Let's see how this behaves without those connectors. If I can go without them, we'll go without them. It's supposed to be pushing that down. Why is it not? That could be part of it. Was if this system's broken. I think this system's broken anyway. Let's just something. So when are you supposed to be rotating these? You're supposed to rotate these when what? When are you rotating the pivots? Okay, when it's connected, it's supposed to rotate it. That's the issue. Let's try something here. I forget what they call it. Contact sensor. So trade that out with a contact sensor. See if the contact sensor being pressed. No, it's not. Okay. It needs something to press that contact sensor. All right. That's fine. Okay. Alright, so that should hopefully fix that. Because that was way off. And then I'm going to look and see if I can reattach them. Because that just... Okay, so this is... It puts quite a bit of lip on there. That's part of the issue we had. So I'll probably cut the top of this and put on a 1x2, I'm thinking. Let's try that. Let's get symmetry on. Let's cut that. Alright, let's go with that for now. Alright, nice. So that pushes into the ground. That seems like a nice, solid ramping there. Doesn't seem to have any problems. Let's see if the ramp will go back in without bitching at me, complaining. That looks pretty good like that. Trying to see if there's any place I can put a connector that would not screw that up. Probably too far off to get it perfect, so that's kind of the issue. Alright, let's see if this jams up when I try to retract it. That's a distinct possibility. So what I think I'll do is put an and in there so this rotates first. Okay. Alright, so let's see. Might be a little fast, but we'll see. So you see it's lifting up a little bit. It doesn't necessarily need to do that, but that also will help, I think. Okay, let's make sure this is retracting properly now. There we go. It's almost instantaneous, which I'm not thrilled with, but it works, so. Let me try changing the speed of the ramp and see if I can make it not instantaneous. Let's go to, let's make it 10 times, I don't know, about 10 times faster. Let's do 5 times faster, and then we'll reconnect that to there. Alright, so it's trying to pull it in before it stows, and that's an issue. And it's annoying that we can't get the pivots that read their positions to be not enormous, because that would fix this really easily. The other thing I'm thinking of is moving this back. We'll change the angle a little bit. So I think let's try that really quick too. So let's cut this. Move it back progressively, one at a time, and see how this behaves now. Okay. Nope, don't do that. Nobody clicked on there. Try this. Sliding that back will make the close end of the ramp come up less. Alright. That seemed pretty smooth there. So with that pivot section slid back, you notice now we have a little gap there, so that should help. Yeah. So it's jamming it up again. Let me look. Okay, so I need to put in a condition with the contact sensor. Alright, so that's connected there from the contact sensor, and then put an AND. So we'll see, I might be able to push that back to where it was if this was the main issue. There we go. There we go. Nice. And I might push the pivot back to where it was because I think that was the issue. Thought about it. I was going to have to do that, and then I forgot about it. So let's fix this. Put this back where it was. Oh, I deleted something out of there, huh? When the hell did I do that? Symmetry on, I hope. Okay, there we go. That goes there. Then you come back. Cut this and then push this forward again. Because I don't think that was the culprit last time. There we go. And then these will grab there. Alright. The tighter the fit, the less likely something will get stuck. He's back. FS is back. Alright, so I like that fit better there. Let's see if it retracts fine. Yep, it retracts fine. Alright, good. So that should work better. Alright, good. Nice. Alright, what else do I want to work on? Let's see. Work on this crane a little bit. I'm going to save as I go here. Alright, let's work on this crane some. clash there. That's a clash there. Crap, how did I screw that up? And so let's work on this some. Okay, that's direct connect, that's why. Alright, so let's see. Let's see, do I do remote on this sucker? I think. I think I'm gonna do, I'm trying to think the best way to do this. See, the thing too is, like, I can't walk with the remote, so there's really no real impetus to have the remote. Like, it's good for the container mover because I can stand and have it move around, but like this, I have to go over here and interact with the crane anyway. So I might as well see this corner is screwed up too. Let's do this. Fix the corners. Orange out the corners like so. That way I can get kind of a reset on those. Okay, good. Yeah, so I think what I'll do is I'll trade this out. Let's just revamp the whole thing. And I think what I'll do is I'll do a handle. Where can I put the handle now? Do it there, I guess. Do the handle right there. I don't need two of them. All right. So let's go. If this is occupied, that will release the connector. And then let's see. Gantry crane. See, my back's gonna be to it. Might do it a panel because my back's gonna be to the crane, which is gonna be a little bit weird. Trying to think how they want to do this. Yeah, it's gonna be a little weird with my back sitting to it. could do a panel. See how this feels with my back sitting to the crane. It's a little bit weird. As long as I can pan around. See, like, I guess I can pan around enough. Yeah, I can pan around enough. I'm happy with that. That's fine. Let's see where we at here. Go seat data there. All right. Let's do crane forward. Crane in. Okay. Do let's see. Front winches, front carriage, up, down, so that's rear carriage down there. Connect. Cat's tail's like on my hand as I'm trying to write, so not helpful. He does not like to help. He likes to hinder. That's his way. So I need linear tracks, winches. Okay, linear tracks, winches. Bud, you gotta move. Bugging me, bud. Let's see. What I'm using, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Let's see how I'm doing this here. So do WSAD for a forward back. Okay. All right, let's start setting this up because I want to figure out what I'm using for actual keys. All right, there we go. So we'll do WS up down for the actual winches on the front. So let's see. One of these I don't need the thresholds, but I'll fix it in a second. It's gonna be 3. I don't need these. So. All right, so. Gonna be carriage. Where is it? Crane out, crane in. Let's try that, see if that does what I want. I can't remember which way the numbers work. Okay, that's good there. 2 is going to be WS, so that's going to be front carriage up and down. And then 4 is up, down. That's going to be rear carriage up and down. All right, this 3 is going to be linear track. And then, what is it, 32? I think it's 31, I think 32. I'll just have to check it. What the hell is the handle? What am I looking at? I'm looking at the wrong side. Where the hell am I? There it is. 31's trigger, all right. All right, 31 is release the connectors. All right, and then, so what are we gonna do here? Crane out, crane in, front carriage up, rear carriage is 2 and 4. Okay, that's good. Linear track is 3. And I need the winches, so what do I want to do for winches? 1, 2 maybe? Yeah, alright. Get rid of this here. bridge this here somewhere. So. Can I get the right color, please? Thank you for the third friggin' time. There we go. I'm gonna have to do a, let's see, that I could, let's see. There we go. Let's do that. Bingo, bango, boop, and boop. There we go. All right. And that's gonna go there. All right. Alrighty. I need to fix the electricity now. Connectors is gonna go up to here. Rear carriage up. Winches out. Fix electricity over here. Okay, that should work. All right. And that's disconnect there. All right. Let's fix, configure this. So AD is going to be reset 100%. AD is, let's see, crane out / in. I bet all these are backwards too because that's the way of it. Let's see. Front carriage up / down. How's left right doing for me? Left right is, I can't remember what I did left right as. Okay, 3 is the linear tracks. That's why I was like, why am I not having that there? Okay. 3 is alright, let's hope that is all connected correctly. I don't think that needs electricity. It does not. Let's actually put this back behind the winch here. Alright, let's go play with that, see how that works. How's it going there? Sergeant Chaos, what's happening? What's happening? I prefer to look at it than to have the camera. Okay, so let's see. Yep, this is backwards, it appears. Let me look. What's going on here with this already? Okay, that's working. I think the rates in the back are different on the winches, so I need to fix the back winch rates because it's... Yeah, the rate's a bit different on the back, okay. Let's see what else we have. Left, right. Okay. I think I'll change the way that works. Yeah, I'm definitely going to change the way that works. All right. So this will be reset 100%. Then I'm going to go in here and I'll put a... where's 3? Right there. Alright, so change the way that works, and then I was having issues going in and out on this sucker, so let's figure that shit out. Crane in and out should be AD. 1, -1, that's good. Crane out, crane in. Why, you misbehaving then. Crane out and in, reset 100% AD, okay. AD's not working. Alright, here's my translation. Stop. There we go, that works better. Why am I grabbing this block and it's not doing anything? Symmetry, go on, you devil. See if I need the other ones too later, but why the hell is this not working? Forward back, did I not hook this up right? Let me look. So that is crane in is down, okay, and then crane up, crane out is on the up. Let's check electricity. Yep, that's where all the electricity goes through, so. Oh, the back one. I didn't do the back one. I forgot I had 2 on there. That would do it. Okay. There we go. How's it going there, Gib work? Alright. And that's backwards. Okay, so forward back is backwards. Make sure this can reach all the way to the wall. Alright, so it's going to need the interiors as well. Okay. It's not far off. What is it, 2 blocks off? Yeah, okay. Alright, so that's fine. Let's see, check the other stuff. The other stuff was all good. I need to change the winch speed, so down. And the front's fine. Down in the back, the medium winch is going faster than the small winch. I don't want anything moving too fast. We have a lot of mass here. So let's click this space bar and see, make sure these should be reading release connector true. Yep. Press the space bar again. Make sure they're reading false. Bingo, bango, bongo. Alright. I can't really test the winches right now. Alright. See, let me check the width on this here. It's not a good width block there. Give me a regular block, thank you. 7. Okay, what are these? These are 11s. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 there. Okay. They need to kind of keep it at this orientation. Put the mover in. I could theoretically put the mover up there, but I need to flip the forward backs. I'm pretty content with that, I think. Let's do a little bit of something so I don't have to add ropes every frickin' time, man. Let's go. I want to put them. Alright, so there we have a couple stored ropes, so I don't have to go grab them. I did actually have a couple rope anchors here, but I don't really need that, do I? Nah. Not in the carriage, I don't. Where the hell am I in the build here? There we go. Okay. So I'm reasonably content with that so far. Let's see, is there anything else I need on this? I think what I'll do is keep this rate really slow, and then I'll increase it to 2.5. That way I can quickly stop it if it gets going too fast. Not too much. I've just been playing with the crane, getting that fixed up. Fixed the ramp a little bit. How's it going there, Games by Alex? What's happening? How's it going, Zachy? Yeah, I said hello to Zachy already, but I said hello again. How's it going there, Rasmus? Let me look. Thought I saw them in there. Let me see. Where did you put them in showcase? Ah, yes. Yeah, I was looking at some of these, yeah. I like them, I like them, I like them. Yep, good train stuff. I don't do too much in the way of train. Oh, look at that. I noticed that the somebody powered something with the Pat flat 6. Alright, let's see. So that crane's pretty good now. Ramp is looking good. Crane, let's check some of this crap off the list. Always nice to check some stuff off the list here. Alright, so I need anti-skid for my braking on my wheels here. So let's see. So let's go into the wheels. Okay, so I don't have all the wheels braking either, so let's brake all of them. You don't break your tail wheel or your nose wheel. You just break the mains. Anyway, but that is the variable brakes. Let's go in here and let's put on anti-skid. So spoilers, flaps, panel, variable brakes right here. All right. Alright, so there's the anti-skid, so I press and hold 31, which is the space bar. It will blink on and off, which will increase the increment to 1, which will go up to variable brakes. If I let go of 31 anytime, it will reset the brakes. That's how it works. So anti-skid is done. Alright, so I need to find the ITTs. Let's see what a regular ITT temperature is for turboprops. So let's see. I wonder if, is it, let me see. I wonder if it's taught on, I can't remember what turboprop. There we go. Nope, it has ITT on a turboprop as well. Alright, let's see. PT6 ITT range. Oh my god. Wikipedia article, what do I expect? Max ITT is 1571. What's the normal operating range? Let's see. Alright, so say 1500, so say 1200 in the ITTs when I do that. So, alright, so let's see. AGL, tail gear. Here's number 2 ITT right there. APU stuff. What are you? APU diesel. Bats. Okay, that's not there anyway. AGL, linear speed, thrust lever position. I need my thrust lever position, so I need to put out that. I have to put that somewhere here. I think, did I put that on the combiner? I can't remember. No, I don't think I did. Alright. This would probably be why my crossfeed's not working here. Starboard crossfeed pump. Or my crossfeeds right here. There's the starboard crossfeed right there. Alright. find. I have ITT split a little bit here. That's pitch correction. I don't have anything in there. I need to fix that. So let's put a keypad on the dash before I forget to do this. So this is for the fins. The fins are not the Finnish people, but the I have correction fins to make this behave properly. So somebody was talking about, I think it was in my Discord, talking about how the you know, when they make their seaplanes, you know, they said you use pitch to help you get off the water, but then it makes the deck angle funky for them. Well, you know, you make it so that when it's on the water, it makes that deck angle, you know, it does the pitch correction on that. And when you're off the water, it doesn't. So right now, these are all set to 1. So these are the correction fins to make it fly correctly. And so I need to, 1's too much, so I need to decrease it a little bit. So I'll do it manually off that. Then I need to hook the electricity on that, so that works. There we go. All right, so that works. And then on this panel here, this is my battery connection panel here. So this panel, I need this one to run on the hot bus. The rest of them do not run on the hot bus. So that needs to go in the... No, it doesn't even... Yeah, it needs to run hot bus right off the battery. The flip switches will... Actually, flip switch should connect my battery. So we'll make this work like this. So this will go here instead. That will go there. All right. That way, when I flip the battery, first thing I do is select a battery, and then when I do power connect, this panel will be powered up by the battery when I connect the batteries, and then the power connect turns on the master. All right, so that is set up. So let's put that. That is there. Let me see what else I need. ITT, I'm still friggin' trying to figure that out. Let's see where this panel goes to here with the 4th engine ITTs. It's going to be hard to find. All right. Looking for open greens here. APU RPS, that's all APU stuff there. Linear speed, thrust lever position. I need to do that at some point for... That's mostly for spoilers. I don't have any spoilers on here as of now, so... Could probably use spoilers. That's the de-icing system. Nose wheel steering, okay. Diesel. Alright. ITT gauges, I need index. I'll fix ITTs later. That's stuff I don't need. Keypad front fins, increase pitch clamp. Might not need to do the fixed door and ramp. That looks done. Cross feeds, I just reconnected it, so we'll test that. Ground power APU. Let's make an APU here. Let's actually do this. Let's save this. Grab the albatross. Where's your APU, sir? Right here. Sir or madame. No, don't save anything, just come on. I would really like them to add little tiny turbines, like 1x1 turbines. That way I can make some axial APUs. let's get this configured here. That's fine the way that was. Okay, good. Let's see, we want to cut in here. And symmetry's always on when I don't want it on. There we go. Where is it? There it is. So there's exhaust, that's fuel there. Okay, and I will do how to route this. Let's see. Gonna be a pain in the ass to route this, I bet. Because why wouldn't it be? Yeah, it's gonna be real ugly to route. I might stick this underneath then. Yeah, it's gonna be a pain to route. So. Right. Stick it somewhere else because it's gonna be a pain to route. So, have to route the fuel all the way back to the tail there. It's gonna need its own diesel tanks. So. Let's see, we're going to want ground services panel, probably right here. So put this near the ground service panel so that I can easily route fuel to it. Okay, there we go. Just a little guy. You're still being obnoxious with that, aren't you? Yes, that is. Alright. So where's ground services gonna go in? Let's plumb in. I'll grab the ground service as well. So let's I'm gonna go right here anyway, so I have space. So let's grab this thing again. Put it up against this wall right here. Can't do it there. Frickin' frack. Frickin' frack, I'm telling you. That's still... Okay, that's free wall there. Alright, let's see. Right there, I can put it there. Okay. So this will be tanked up. Alright, then that can go there. Let's see, air is going to go right here, so we'll go... Yeah, look at that. Expert here. Got it the first try. There we go. So there's the APU installed. Oh, you're working on your vehicle, Rasmus? That's good. Normal operating range. Have a long operating range on this. It says 50,000 pounds of fuel in it, so this should go pretty far. Alright, so let's plumb all this APU in. Let's see, all the APU crapula. APU starter. APU RPS. APU RPS, come on, click to the thing. Thank you. Number 2 gen, number... That's interesting, I gotta fix the gens. Okay. APU air. APU fuel. Number 2 generator, huh? What's that plug to? Oh, I didn't hook it up at all. I moved a bunch of the gens. I had to redo the engine when I redid the wings, those turbines. What are you? You are APU diesel. Let's see. Swap out for a medium tank. That way I can just easily read it. Okay, a bunch of these gens didn't get hooked up when I redid the engines, so that's wondering why I'm still able to make enough electricity, but the likelihood is when I go to max efficiency, I'm not going to be able to make enough electricity, so. Okay, number 1 gen's hooked. Alright, so I only have 1 generator hooked, so that's actually pretty promising. When I was at full throttle, it was giving me enough electricity, but when I was in max efficiency, it wasn't. I have to change this to whatever the right field of view is on this. Go V controller there. This will go here again. This will go electricity. Alright, so that's going to be our main nose camera. Seeing that with this being a tail dragger, I have like very limited view. So this will give me a little bit of view. What I'll do is I'll also I'll pitch correct it at some point for the tilt, so it will tilt correctly, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal as it is. So let's go run that camera really quick. There we go. And that's infrared, so that's pretty good. That helps a little bit with taxiing. Yep, that's pretty good. I was thinking of putting it there behind glass too. That's another option, but that's what I'll do for right now. At least I have that as a utility. And if it's dark, I can still see it. So. But I don't know where my field of view controller is. I don't think I ever put that on there. So. Alright, good. So at least we have that going for us. APU, let's try it out. Keep that off. APU. It's not, it didn't hook up electricity, so probably should do that. So let's see. Where is it? APU gen right here goes to here. Doesn't shift gears, of course, and then this goes to the connected side there. All right. Let's run it. Especially with doing things like cargo ops on the ground, I'm going to be using a pretty good amount of electricity, so I want to be able to have that available. All right, power connect, APU. I don't hear it, but that doesn't mean it's not on either. It's on. Yep. And then this will just automatically shut off when it overheats, when it gets close to overheat, so I don't even worry about that. Because once it gets the battery up, it's going to barely run. And so it doesn't really need to deal with too much. It has a very, very high p-value. It's like a 2000 p-value, so that it just revs right up, gets the battery up, and then it tails right off. What I should do is I really should change the way this works so that the clutch comes up to full and it revs down a little bit, but it works. Like we look, battery's topping now. See, it's going up and down, it's topping the battery, so it's pretty good. That can be refined, but that's running. So APU. The other thing is eventually I'm going to use the APU, so I need the bleeds to start my engines. So I need to go APU bleed, and then the bleed PSI will come up, and then I need the APU to start my engines. And once I have an engine up, I can use the engines to start other engines, but I need that as well. So let's see. Now let's go for a quick flight. I want to fix the fins. So the fins, we're starting at a value of 1. So let's go to 0.5 on the fins there. Let's go ahead and we'll crank. Alright, ITT, those are off, so they won't be running ITTs. Let's go down. I get that pitch correction done. Now let's turn on our camera here so we can see. Yep, so that helps a little bit with taxiing. I'll probably end up putting a monitor here, a multi-function monitor with like a Lua switch box on there for different cameras. You know, when you start getting to big airplanes, it's nice to have the cameras. You can control them. Why are these not up and running? I didn't turn the fuel valves on, that would be why. Alright, there we go. Alright, so fins are 50% now. Testing my camera out here. Camera's working well, keeping me center lined. We can go positive rate. Gears coming up. Go to 2000. So this is what I'm testing here is for how this is climbing. 222 is my heading. Alright, so I'm climbing nicely with a 0.5 value. I need to put this, I need to make sure it levels off correctly and behaves itself when it gets up there. Just plain working, no fun there, huh? Alright, so we'll make sure it levels off at 2,000. If it doesn't level off at 2,000, it means that the correction is not. So what this is essentially doing is it's giving me negative lift on the nose. So this is how you get planes to operate properly in game, is by using the fins. You know, it's like when people keep, you know, saying that they, you know, want accurate aerodynamics. A lot of these people are asking for something that if they got it, they'd probably hate it, because they would have to have a pretty, see where he didn't level off at 2,000, so this needs to go up 0.75. They would not be able to build an airplane if we had realistic aerodynamics. You know, they would have to actually go and learn aerodynamics to be able to do it. You know, and so the benefit of being a little bit gamified here is we can still use things like fins and get our aircraft to behave exactly how we want them. You know, like that's what I do. For example, in my jets, when you're coming in to land in a jet, you have a positive angle of deck angle. So your nose is up a little bit, and you come and land with your nose up the whole way. And the way I do that is with anti-flaps. So I do a bunch of fins in the wings right by the flaps, and they give me a lot of downforce. And so it makes the plane behave properly. And so the benefits is you can make little adjustments to make your plane fly exactly how you want. You know, and that's the great thing with being able to add all these systems. Congratulations, I guess. Let's see. So we're leveling off at 2. Let's make sure we can go through everything we need to here. Let's do a descent down to 1,000. I need to change the rates on this anyway. Looks like it's too little. Alright. Let's go back up to, let's do 2,500. I want to see what the rates look like on this. Alright, so it needs a little downforce, so let's go to 1. I guess 1 was working fine. 0.95, 0.95. And I can work the rest of it with my autopilot. I want to make sure I just level off at 2,500. Yep, that's the thing of it, is it's like, you know, I keep seeing all these posts like, oh, you know, the air in Stormworks is syrup and the water is, you know, lead or whatever their expression is. And it's kind of like the air is not soup in game. You know, I think a lot of people just don't understand the aerodynamics, which makes sense. Most people don't have any aerodynamics background, you know. Most didn't take courses on aerodynamics. Most, you know, don't have any sort of flight experience, and so they don't understand, so they make a statement like that. And, you know, I can make aircraft that are exactly very realistic to IRL because I have that background. And so some of the things that people criticize the game for and how the physics work, it's not necessarily the way it is, and it's always going to be a simplified version, because if it was precisely exactly the way it is IRL, guess what? Everybody would be flying around stalling and crashing all the time. Stormworks sucks. I can't even fly a plane in game, you know, and so it's overly simplified, you know, and there are some things that help correct for this. Let's see if we level off fine. All right, we're leveled off fine, so about 0.95. You know, so it's, if you want more realism, you can have more realism. If you want more arcade, you can have more arcade. And that's what I think where one of the great strengths of the game is it's like, you know, I can make planes that are ultra realistic, and if somebody doesn't like ultra realism, they want it super arcadey, they can have that as well. We can both have exactly what we want, and that's the fantastic thing. But again, you know, it's a very high floor in this game, and an incredibly high ceiling. And what I mean by that is you really have to learn a lot. You know, if you don't know anything about physics, guess what? You're going to have to learn some things about physics. You know, if you don't know anything about engineering, you're going to have to learn some things about engineering. But that's how you get thousands of hours in this game is, you know, you learn some stuff, you get better, and then I think that's where it's really rewarding is as you learn those things, it becomes like, oh, cool. You know, I used to struggle with this. Now I do really well at this, and you get that sense of achievement. And that's, you know, I think that's priceless in a lot of games, is actually getting a sense of achievement and progression. You know, so I think that's really fantastic. But, you know, you have to learn these things, and it's... But, you know, I hear some of these comments about, you know, aerodynamics of planes, you know, and it's like, that's not really right. You know, it's like, for example, there are things that you know, I don't know a ton about ships. You know, I know some, what I've researched, but there are people in, for example, JSI who actually operate and work on ships, and they know a hell of a lot more than me, and so, you know, and they are a great resource to the community to kind of share how things really work in ships, and so, you know, you can make your ships more realistic if you want that way. You know, for example, like one thing that a lot of people would like is, oh, there's no momentum, you know, when I'm doing ships, you know, they just stop on a dime. Well, you can make a ship so it doesn't stop on a dime. You know, you can have a really low sensitivity throttle, and so when you start to bring the thrust back on your ship, guess what? It's going to be slow, and it's going to act as though it's momentum. It's not really momentum moving your ship, but it's, you know, it's just the propellers take a while to stop because the engine is still spooled up. You know, you could do that if you wanted. So if you really want, like, momentum on your ships, you can do that. You know, there's a bunch of things that you know, if you want gliding right now in your planes, which again, I think a lot of people greatly overestimate how much a plane glides. I went over this in one of the live streams. You know, you don't do a ton of gliding. You know, there are some certain situations in small airplanes where you can bring the thrust all the way back, and you're still not gliding. The engine's still idled. You know, I have stopped... The only time I've ever stopped engines IRL is in multi-engine. You never stop an engine IRL in a single-engine plane because you're putting yourself in emergency. But you can stop the engine in a multi-engine plane. So the only time I've ever stopped an engine was in IRL was in my multi-engine training. And, you know, that's the only time you really stop it. So, you know, when people think they're gliding, you're not gliding. You have the engine at idle, which is still producing thrust, you know, in most situations. So even if you've flown a little airplane, you haven't stopped the engine. You know, the engine's still helping you along. You know, when the engine actually dies, you get reasonable glide ratios, but they're not fantastic. You know, and does that really, you know, is that something that the devs should be spending an absolute ton of time on? I don't think so, you know. As somebody who's a big aviation nerd and loves doing this stuff, do I really think they need to go revamp all this? No. You know, I think it's good. You know, but again, they'll blame the game for something that, you know, and it makes sense that they don't know these things, but they'll blame the game for some of these things that are just stuff they don't know. And I think that's problematic because, you know, you think that the devs need to go work on these things when I don't think they necessarily do. Yep, you know, and that's the great thing, is everybody can have what they want. You know, like, I like more realistic builds. You've got people who build some really cool fantasy builds, and we can all have it in this playground. And if you made the game too, quote-unquote, realistic, then all the fantasy builds are gone. And so you've just alienated a large part of your community. So when you get people, like, playing, like, oh, we need a rework of this or that to make it more realistic, it's like, yeah, but you'd also lose a bunch of, you know, the fun as well. You know, so that's kind of the, you know, you need to, at some point, some of these people need to put themselves in the position of the developer and say, does this make sense as a business to do this? And you say, okay, I'm going to alienate 5% of my community by doing this thing. And the community that wants this thing can still do the thing they want. Is it worth doing it? Is it worth spending a bunch of dev time? And often the answer would be no. You know, and that's kind of the thing of it, you know. And what I think about with it is just like some of the times, like, that's why they don't do some of these things, is they're alienating people and not necessarily really bringing on anyone else by doing this. Let's see. I'm going to probably take a break here in a minute. Let's check some more. See where we're at higher on my list. So, did I change that to 0.95? Let me double check, make sure I did. No, I didn't. 0.95. Okay, so that's fixed. So that's better, and then I'm going to go in and I'll do autopilot testing as I fly it more. Like, I still have a reasonable climb and descent rate. They don't look very high in game, but they're actually pretty good. Let's see. Keypad front fins is done. All right, so I think we're mostly up and running here. So I think I'll take a break there. This was got some good stuff here. Hopefully I can get this in the career build series. You know, I don't think I'm gonna have any issue hauling containers, 4 containers in this up to BVG. You know, I think the best place to really test it is get it in a career game and see it. So probably end up seeing it in the career build series. Let me save it one more time. But, so let me quickly go through some stuff. And let me see. Voting for the... Let's go through this really quick here. Build voting for the Build Challenge Golf is going in for 2 more days. It'll be... Not really 2 more days, but it's essentially midnight the morning of 10/6. So you get about a full day left to vote on that. So make sure you go cast your vote on the Discord for that. Thank you to members. Thank you to Side of Mountain, FS Gamer, Connor, O'Boyle, Danny, Miles, World, Anton Anderson, Sergeant Chaos, Aaron Repairs All, Citrus. Thank you to Chicken Soar for being a patron. And I will see you guys later.